Good morning, everyone. How you doing? Okay, so is the party over? You can call that a party, more like a relief, but yeah, I'm thinking should be closer to rollover time had this bounce here, not into any significant resistance. Yesterday we talked about this pivot high up there. Things had opened up here. They got up to the top of the range. Now, I titled today a second bear flag is forming. And the second one could set up a W bottom. So you remember back here, I spoke about yesterday, we would kind of had our little bit of a bullish bias for a bounce there, looking for this bottom to occur that didn't. And kind of like flagging kind of thing. And same thing here. And we'll see what it does. So it's based on typical flag patterns. You can see this one didn't turn out to be typical the way it came down and then gapped. And this one may not be either. But what we need to see is some kind of red bar, some kind of bearish bar, whatever, over here over the next couple of days. And we'll see if it ready to roll back over and maybe we get that W. Um, so we always have our wishes, I do, as to the type of pattern that would be ideal. And the one that we talk about as a new low plus would break this low down here and flip back up again. We'll see. We got a pretty decent weekly bar on the Nasdaq, as you can see. The retracement is deep. Didn't quite get down to that major support level. And I think a little move down here. I mean, it may go sideways. Just the unknown is the unknown. Right? We know what we got. Assuming today holds up relatively well, we'll have a green bar after a deep retracement, very aggressive move to the downside. Our expectation would be to have some kind of backing and filling. So the other alternative, whatever it might be, rather than a W, would be some kind of consolidation. And to make a 1, 2, 3 for a week, a weekly bar, of course, is going to be 5 days. Now, after a retracement like that, that wouldn't be the most ideal. But as I said, we're going to have to see what develops. Right now, prices are at the top of the range. They were up a bit earlier. You can see the futures are now down a little bit. Not a big deal. And we'll see how it unfolds. Uh, the Dow, you know, couldn't get through that high. So, look, a bear flag kind of a pattern would get through that high. Maybe that happens this morning where it pops up a little bit up into this range, and any kind of a breakout failure would give further, proof to the idea of this thing flagging and rolling over. Would a momentum move like that? Like we've had this discussion a few times in the last couple of weeks in the green room. That momentum moves like this, that start a move, historically result in a next move down, and then we look for a momentum to begin to slow. So, for example, here, this was a momentum move down. If you remember, this came down to this area of support here, and then didn't make a lower low, but it comes down to retest that area. So, common sense, right? This is just common sense. Not that the market always does things related to in alignment with my common sense, but look, common sense tells me when something falls so quickly as this with that kind of momentum, it's created a lot of uncertainty and fear. So to get some kind of corrective price pattern is normal. Um, so this one isn't the same as that one because that had made you know go back and it was this up and down crazy type of a pattern here. But like a general simple concept, big sharp move down, stabilization. Historically, it goes down again. and then momentum slows, and then we see if it can repair the damage. Now, I'm assuming things like tech and semiconductors that led the way down as that bottom does form, um, they will begin to outperform because that's where the biggest bang for the buck is going to be. Not in these type of stocks, but in those tech stocks that have been beaten down, and the institutions will come after them again. So, transports, same nasty move to the downside. Trading range. Why my voice always does this when I'm talking here in the morning? I don't know. It's weird. And anyway, more of a sideways thing than a flag. But as I look at these bars, they vodka in the coffee. Maybe that'd fix it, Dan. Um, it's not making that higher high. It's more of a sideways thing. In any event, you see the way it's kind of a grind, and we'll see if it rolls or whatever it's going to do. And as I look at this pattern, it's just like nothing as far as is it actionable? No, but we review the markets every day to see what they're doing, what's showing relative strength, what's showing relative weakness, what's going on, what is our bias, right? And this is kind of a you know, no man's land, so to speak, with this mess. All right. So SPY, where is it at? Where's the routine here? Let me put this thing back in here. So visible. I took it away for. All right. So where are we at here? So this moves with gapping down a little bit at the top of the green bar from yesterday, gapping down. So again, nothing here of significance. I mean, it's up near the prior high. It's stalled. Normal. So far, no significant damage. It's not like it's gapping down here. It still could hang here and maybe go a bit higher. But primarily, look, it's kind of reached a destination point, which was here, and backed off, and now it retested it. And if it can go sideways, that would be positive. And then maybe it goes higher. Again, we need more information. Um, this trending down as it is, you can see on a 5-minute chart, it's rolled over it, and now it's stalled at this pivot. Buyers are coming in, and we'll see what it does here, as always. And again, none of these patterns here on a daily time frame is actionable. Um, as we go down to smaller time frames, we can see patterns that make more sense on a short-term basis. There's just no swing trade set up here with patterns like this. It's going to take a longer period of time. SPX didn't get close to any numbers yesterday. The strikes came up, and is where we're at right now. If the markets move up a little bit, it would be it will. I think this is a no-brainer today. Anyway, 5,400, but 5,405. If this would come up, and after at the open, that would be push this up above there. And I don't believe. I always like to say that's all a credit spread is. Do you believe this or that? Right? I don't believe it's going down there today, and I don't believe it's going up there today. But if it moves up a little bit here at the open, and you can get on the other side of 5,400, should be a no-brainer. And this would also come up a little bit, but look, it's in this area. It's not quite equal distant to either strike. This one's further away. I can't imagine, other than some surprise news coming out, how the S&P 500 would come down here today. Just would be unreasonable. But, Mr. Schizophrenic might have other plans. I just don't see it going to either one of these today. All right. So Bitcoin filling the gap there, getting backed off. These are just such messy patterns on a daily time frame. They're just, and I'll say it again, just not actionable. And waiting for these things to develop further, uh, not actionable. I mean, it made a new high, so go to a higher time frame. Maybe we get a 1, 2, 3, some type of a 1, 2, 3. At least the body's in the upper half on that weekly chart. We'll see if that moves up. So we'll be looking for that next week. Silver's been underperforming that. Now it's down at this pivot. Maybe if we get a W, that would be fantastic. Crude oil, just such a mess. Look, bottom of the range, look, top of the range, bouncing up here in this mess. Oil stocks, maybe they're being helped here a bit, but remember here my drawings. Sometimes I don't take them away, but we're reviewing this bottoming action, and it did break out. It looked great, and then, well, we all know what happened. Back down again, and it's rebuilding, repairing the damage. You know, it's everywhere. Collapse, bounce, coming up into a sell zone area. Weekly bar looks good. Daily is not in alignment. Its price action is going to be erratic for a while yet until we get good daily time frame patterns. Semiconductors led the way down. Of course, you look to the left and you're going to find a pivot. Buyer stepped up. Nice looking weekly bar. If we can get a retest, some sideways price action into next week, I think this would open up the door for a more sustainable, higher probability move to the upside to the next resistance level. We'll see how it unfolds. KRE, same collapse, same stabilization. Those volume spike spiders and Qs the past Monday, I believe, set at least the August low. I don't know. Maybe. You see, I don't have the volume on here, but look, you, let me put it this way. You can believe whatever you want. We all have our trading plans that create a belief system. And now my belief system says we need a little more consolidation here or retest. And if it makes a lower low, that's a plus. Because if it makes the lower low and flips right back up again, that's one of our tells. Right? We know that big money is sitting down there waiting. On the other hand, if next week is a big nasty red bar engulfing this week's bar, we're all going to know what that means. So don't get too attached to an opinion, and right now the opinion says this bounce may go a little further before sellers are willing to come in. I mean, that's support and resistance. Look to the left. Where did it fall from? There's an unfilled gap. Does this get negated today and get a red bar? No. Internet, same collapse, broke all of this support, a lot of damage being done. Now, over the years, I've seen these kind of breakdowns, and it's like there's only one way to read it. It's a breakdown, it's bad. And I've seen recoveries from things like this. So anything is possible. Is it probable? No. But, sideways for that many months and a break under all of those pivots, that's a negative. And the daily time frame has nothing here to support position for to swing trading. It's just low probability. That's why there's been, put spread heaven if you can find a premium and naked puts and all of that. Same thing with tech. Same thing there. So pretty much wherever we look, retailing, same thing there. So that's the takeaway. Kind of frustrating at times, waiting for things to develop, but that's the business. It'll happen. Give it a little time, and we'll get much better high probability patterns on the daily time frame. It might take a few days, a week, whatever it is, it is. Now, let me just take, the internals here, take a quick peek. So we see that our internals gauge has come down here through the lower bands. And so it's close to 1.2. And also would point out, just as a overall historical interpretation of these internals, when you get a break like this and the breath gauge comes up to zero, often, and could get a little bit above, that's often where this will roll back over. So what we'll be talking about if prices do exactly that next week is if we can get a lower low, we'll then look for a low here that it maybe hits 200, whatever it might be. Sometimes makes a higher low, but we'll be looking for some kind of scenario where things are lined up where we can get a better type of a bounce with better historical pattern. So see how it all unfolds. All right. Have a great Friday and weekend, those of you online. And it's all yours, Dan.
Good morning. As Don said, happy 0DTE day for option traders that want to sell credit spreads that expire in a couple hours. And, again, I say this, despite us not having any interest in trading the broader markets as a swing, we've been doing, you can day trade them. You can do credit spreads on them. And number three, we still find amazing setups. I mean, look at this Berman Alex just mentioned. Neo. These are fantastic setups that are on their own page. Put that in the window. Like we're directionally, we're long Aflac. Buy setup on its own page. HCA. It's a sloppy buy setup, but have an open gain in that. So those are just a couple points. Not to get frustrated if the broader market is in a weird mode. All right, let's go to earnings here. I've deleted a ton of them already. HWM, Sammy Boy, this was on your list. It's showing it up $1.40, but I don't see any prints. Yeti had earnings yesterday. And for me, it needs to chop around a couple inside days. But it's bullish, weekly, monthly. So I'll keep that on my list. Costco here, we have a put spread. ISRG is a long watch. McKesson got whacked yesterday on earnings. That's a 0 DTE idea. If it's gapping up right here, that looks fantastic. I will put that in this window. Frog got killed yesterday. Alex would nailed the day trade entry right there. All right, those are miscellaneous. Here comes earnings. CLSK. If it can get today's Friday, if it can get over Wednesday's bar, it looks like it has a big old void there. I have an alarm. Para gapping up, no swing pattern, but put 0 DTE. 1412. That's just ugly, all time frames. That's a continuation short, 30-minute low. SMR, no interest. Bravo Echo. I would have loved this if it were gapping right to 11. Then it's a Climo with a red bar ignored, but gap's too big now. And I gave two earnings condors, and I did 3 others myself, so I did like 5 earnings trades. TTD, we did a condor, the 70 put spread in the 101s, so it's a big gap up, but we're $10 away. That expires today, so I'm bidding a penny to get out of that. A Sierra Golf, I mentioned, beautiful daily, weekly here. I shorted the 20s. 20 put spread. I'm bidding 2 cents to get out of mine. Dropbox, I was considering the 20 puts, but they weren't enough. But that's on a put spread watch. Here, in case you came in late, I typed up a big list here. Hold on. Of put spread watch. And hey, you all remind me, I want to go through my core watch because it's very old. I haven't updated it in a while. Yeah, I noticed FANG's weakening here pre-market, so that's why I added there on the end. Meta, Google, Tesla, all zero DTE call spread ideas. Dockin, I did the $20 puts, had juice. Look at that. I sold the 20s. So I'm bidding, I think, a penny or two to get out of that. Akamai, nice gap, put spread idea on a pullback. Expedia, we did a condor. Man, that's a monster gap, but we did the 135s. So then we only did $1 wide, so we still got over $4 a cushion. So we will definitely have an open gain at the open. I said bid a penny or two to get out of the call side, let the put side expire at full profit because I don't even want to pay commission. A DEI sell setup. It shows it gapping down a little bit here. That's a definite sell setup. 10-minute low, short, ELF. We were considering, Greg, remember this one? We were considering a short strangle, like selling the 250 calls and I forget, the 110s, I forget the numbers, but they were so friggin' far away. And the strikes I was looking at, I think was around $1.45. And it's opening right here in the middle of this range. That would have been fantastic trade. T2 when gap's too big. I was considering a put spread on this one, but not enough juice. Honest company, big gap, no pattern, Echo Bravo. Looks like it's headed to the graveyard. I'm 5 in. I'll put this. Let's see. Now this is a nasty gap, but I'm going to put it on the excessive gap list to see if buyers want to step up. I'll tell you if I see it. SOLV. My up alarm went off, but this is bullish daily, weekly, monthly. That is a IPO monthly climb with a 180 reversal. So all time frames are in alignment on this. So that's if it opens flat or up a little, 5-minute high as a go. G golf. Wow, that's a monster gap. Monster. Hey, Alex, you know when we were talking about Procter and Gamble buying Gillette, why? I guess they made the if they bought it, why is it still publicly traded? I gotta think about that one. No, I'm not kidding. Why, if Procter and Gamble bought it, why is it still trading? Is it unless this is Genpact. My bad, my bad. All right, yeah, I guess I was kidding. All right, Cenex. This is a nice directional day trade. Day trade and put spread idea. CENX I like. It was on the list that I copy pasted right there. I'm out of windows, but yeah, that looks really good. I'll put it in another window over here. RPay. Nice multi-bar reversal on major support. I'm going to set an alarm at 9 spot 10. RPAY. 9 spot 10. 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 9 one. Got it. Sina, same Climo with a multi-bar turn. I like this one a lot. I have it in the bottom right here. Let me just set an alarm. Well, it shows that it's going off at 73. See it look in the minder there. So I'll set it at 7302, just so my alarm doesn't go off until the open, which is in 3 minutes. Diode, no interest. DXC. Another one, we're getting these multi-bar turns on support with a void. Problem is the gap's too big. Cipri gapping down. Call spread idea, but the gap's too big now. This is the one I said if it opened flat to short the heck out of it under the low. So, gap's too big now, unfortunately. IVR, cell setup. Let me set an alarm on this computer. Set it at 874. Sina up alarm. 873. See, look, Sina, look, now the gap's too big, darn it. But that was a tier one setup if it didn't gap so much. I'm on to, man, no prints here, but I have an alarm at 6250. Well, let me make sure I do. No, I don't. 6245. PBA is garbage. Pod. All right, this one I canceled it officially, but I shorted the 150 puts. So it's going against me here, but I still have $25 of cushion. Road gapping up 62. It'd be a put spread idea, but I think the gap's too big. SLVM. Another one of these if it gets over the red bar. Put spread idea. I'll set an alarm 67.75. Oh, look, I already did. See my haircut example. And finally, Nicola again. All right, perfect. So I got, look at that. I finished all those exactly as the opening bell went off. All right, IVR alarm. This is a 5-minute low, short idea. Let it trade 5 minutes. All right, SOLV. Let's watch a pullback. I pull back into the gap. That looks great. Oh man, don't be a gap and go. All right, Greg, you tell me sometimes, if this thing's at $66 and I'll be bitching saying I didn't chase it. So I let you in on the voting right now.
Buy a small amount. Buy whatever.
Okay.
I mean, if you go all in and it turns to hell, then you got a problem, right? So, or you sit back and wait, see if it fills the gap or it comes down to the whatever, and you might miss it. So,
Why no? That's exactly my question.
well, there's no definitive answer. It's like, what do you want to do? You'll
Well,
turn it to a small position and you keep an eye on it, see if you can add. And
Bert up alarm, Lily up alarm. I'm still in. I'm gonna let it. I did not get filled yesterday, so I'm gonna. All right, I'm closing. Oh no, those are puts. My God. Um, so I gotta let my Lily expire full profit today. Man, these Expedia. It's too damn spready. It's the problem. All right, so we got to let it simmer down here for a couple minutes. TTD 101s, where are you? They're spready. It's the problem. Yeah, Lily of Beats. That's a bullish friggin' gap. Look at McKesson middle chart. Back TTD. It didn't fill me at 2 cents. 1 second.
A lot of patterns like that, Alex. CMG got these like look at ARM, look at the semiconductors sideways there at that resistance. ARM took it out a little bit. They're just wiggling here. Tough to see that they're going to keep going. But CMG has a similar kind of a pattern going sideways at resistance and maybe can take it out.
All right, sorry, that was my doc calling me for my blood work. I've never heard this in my life. Um, she said everything was perfect. Well, she said my sodium salt was low, but there's something weird. She said I was dehydrated. So,
It's because he couldn't poke your vein. That's what they always say. When you go to get blood, drink a bunch of water so your veins come up.
no, no, no. She said it was in the kidney reading.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I said. I've never heard that in my life. All right, so here, let me focus now. All right, Bert. All right, Bert, nice. Let's move stop here now. 27.93. All right, Alex, CMG. Yeah, hey, my CMG alarm went off also, Alex. I said I was keeping that on my list. Yeah, I'm just behind here, but yeah, my alarm went off. Up alarm 70. All right, TTD is fine. Expedia coming in. So now let me see if I can get out at a penny or so on the call side. Well, I'm beating a penny and I did not get filled. Man, they're still friggin' juicy. 135, 15 by 35. Wow. All right, so we just, gotta be patient. All right, PSX alarm. Um, oil. All right, oil's coming in. I got some naked puts on this, which is why I'm watching it. All right, Bert, Lily, IBR. All right, IBR. I said 5-minute low. All right, so see how I love gap trading. You have a bias, put it in a 5-minute chart, see if it sets up the way you like. It's that friggin' simple. I had a 5-minute low bias, did not hit. Now it's bullish, move on. Unless there's a different opportunity. If I get a 1, 2, 3 for Tuesday, it's a 1, 2, 3. That's pod garbage going against me. Let me check. I'm sure I'm going to be very insulted with the spreads. Yep. Well, they're still 30 by 310. What the F with the spreads, man? All right, I'm gonna bid 35 just to get out of this junk. I sold them for 60, but the spreads are messing me up. All right. Oh, CMG. Yeah, if it closes like this, or maybe 30-minute high. Yeah, I told you if this goes sideways like this, big old void, big multi-week bottom. I like it. And I'm gonna get rid of Mick here. I'm not gonna worry about it. Yep, CMG looks great for 30-minute high, or I prefer it not even trigger, and then we can put it in the weekend letter. Check puts also. Let me check my other Sierra Golf. I forget what position I have. All right, I have the 2017 put spread. So what I am gonna do, I'm bidding 2 cents, and it's the same stupid ass rule of they're only showing minimum 2 cents. So what I'm going to do is buy the highest strike, which is the 24. So now I have a free $4 wide put spread for 7 DTE. So I'm done with you. Dock in. I did, let me see what I did. I did 22 and a half, 20 put spread. And the 22 and a halves are 0 by 80 cents. Oh, friggin' idiot. All right, so what I'm gonna do here. All right, I got everything updated. All right, our bird is rocking today. Nice, finally. It's been dead money, but there was no reason to get out. And now we got our something something bar on the 15. Market's a mess. Went up, came down. Let's look for some zero DTE on the fangs. Google is a sell setup. Utility. One, three. Hey, Steve. Right, Expedia. Let's move stuff. Days high now, 131.42. Expedia. That's 131.32. CMG. Check puts. Do the 53s for next week. 53, 51 is 25 cents. RHI, low alarm, Alex. I just saw yours after. That's twice, Alex. Our alarms and comments are identical timing. My alarm just went off, 60 spot 05. Yeah, I will. All right, 53. All right, let's do 53, 51. Yeah, I will. Hold on. I gotta do one thing at a time. No, that's $60 doesn't mean anything to me, Alex. HCA just stopped out break even. Shame on you. Oh, it's actually a 1, 2, 3 though. But with the market making new lows, I'll still reduce exposure. Yeah, CMJ stop high now. 60.82. All right, let's cover a third in the weakness, RHI, although it looks lower to me. But we still have 2/3 left.